Okay, let's go. Um, so I haven't played the game yet. I'm gonna do something weird today, or weird, different, and I'm going to do something which I also don't know how to do properly. um, so today, this evening, I've got the degradation match. I believe that's the word I'm looking for, between our team and the enemy team, and which I already scouted a bit. I know that I'll be playing white. I have a fake idea who my opponent is, and I have found a total of 0 games that they played, so I just have to prep something against a couple of things. So there are... I'm just gonna turn on the engine. I'm just gonna look at some openings and see what sticks. My first initial idea is that if you play e4, you have to prepare for both e5 and c5, and the rest, don't really care. You don't really get anything else, in my experience. And even if you play even if they play e6 or c6, you can... I know a bit about the main line, so I wasn't planning on looking at that. So it's e5 and c5. I can also play like other stuff. I can play like a knight f3, but I don't need to prep that. I can just play that. I mean, I have a good idea of how to play this, so you just get like this setup and probably d4, and I mean, it also depends on the opponent, but like you can get not e5, e4, but something like this, maybe the bishop here already. You can get some kind of structure like this. Maybe you instead of this play like that, and play some sort of Catalan version, but in my experience, if you want to do that, you try to do the Catalan, which is like this. This is the Catalan, right? Yeah. So this is plan number 2. So I either... and like against d4 you can prep other stuff, but like doesn't really matter. I know how to play a main line. Maybe you should prep this as well, but then I mean, this is a Catalan again. What was the line? I mean, you don't have to play this. You can play something like this, and then we're playing a modern, which I also know how that works. And I mean, I should probably look at this at some point, but yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do any of this, but I'll take a look at it later if I really do. I'm not sure. What I think I'm gonna do is look at these two things. And against c5, this is the main point. c5, I wanted to prep a Alapin Sicilian. Not the Alapin opening, which I've also... fun fact, I've also played that for a bit, which is this. This is the Alapin opening. And it plays a bit like a Vienna-ish gambit, but not a gambit, because you try to play this, and you can prevent that just barely as black, which is why black is pretty much equalized here. But that doesn't matter. I wanted to play an Alapin, and I have a good idea of how to play that. This is one of the ways, and then you're fine here. Taking is weird to me, but it seems okay. You can also play d5 here. I've played this recently actually as black, and then I got like knight a3 or something and got crushed. But you can also, I saw, which is kind of interesting, you can also delay the Alapin by one move, because after d6, this is, they can't play d5, so they're forced to go into this line, which is definitely different because now I don't have e5. And after a lot of other options, where's the line? This one. After this, then c3, then queen takes, interesting. It is a helpful tempo in a lot of cases, because this is not necessarily an Alapin Sicilian move. Or a6 as well, which people don't really play, but you know. I'm gonna put that away. That's not interesting right now. So I mean, this is kind of a French position as well, or a no, this is what's it called, Alapin? Alakine. It's an Alakine position, kind of. No, not that. So it's something like this. This is an Alakine, yeah. That wasn't what I was looking for. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of playable. That's cool. You're forced to take because d5 is otherwise killing, and it's still very this actually looks very good to me for me. This pawn is isolated, but you have the bishop pair, and this pin is very strong. That's interesting. Do I want to play an isolated queen's pawn position though? That's the issue. Because I really want to win. I wanted to prep something really well and then try to win my game. That way it really, I mean, it doesn't matter if we win or lose, but it's not my fault, basically. That's the goal. If I win and the team loses, that's a win for me. That's enough of a win. Yeah, so I could do this. I could also just play like I believe a6 is actually isn't a great move, right? No, it's after a6 d4 is a bad move. What's the point? Right, so you play close to, maybe you, okay. Okay, that's interesting. You can also just play it's closed. Close. Right? There was a reason why a6 was or I believe that this was suboptimal. In this position it's not good, but apparently it's fine here. I mean, this is fun to know. And d4 immediately. Oh, this looks great. I'd be happy to play this, but that requires a6, which is kind of the point. You can't prep something that your opponent must play a novelty. You need to play the novelty, which also means that the eval should probably go down if your opponent plays accurately, but it needs, if you want to prep something, some opening trick or maybe early middle game trick, it should be kind of obscure what the solution is. So for example, I've shown this before, so I'm okay showing it. In the Sveshnikov, which I play, this. It should not be obvious that a3 is the move, especially since this is possible and then it says zeros. Basically 0. Yeah, and you get d5, which is funny. But yeah, that's not gonna happen because I play white. Okay, so basically I need to ask the question, is this something I'd want to play? I mean, you have to play knight takes e5. There's no d takes e5. There is a pawn sack that it claims, like just not taking back. And you can also include this, isolated versus isolated, but then you get bishop a6, which is annoying because you can't castle and the e-file is partially open already. Yeah, I don't like this. This seems better. You don't have to take on d7, but you can. Yeah, this really feels like I'm losing a pawn and have compensation, which I don't like. I don't want to do that. So that's out. Let's try them. You can also do this. The point of playing an Alapin is also basically because I want to make my opponent miserable, and against the Alapin you just generally don't have anything as black. At my level, forcing the opponent to play a passive game and be sad about it and just squeeze for 6 hours is a strategy. Actually not 6 hours, we don't have that time, but like squeezing for 4 hours, that is a valid strategy. I mean, even at the highest level people do play like that. But I just want, if my opponent is miserable for 4 hours, that also helps. And yeah, you can sack the pawn and win the pawn back. This is a cool trick, but people don't take, I don't think. I believe people generally don't take there. I do need to know this, so I'll try to remember that. So you can sack the pawn because of queen a4 and bishop takes f7. Makes sense. I mean, I'll just look back the video, which is partially why I'm doing this. And from here, queen d7, okay. d5 makes sense. e6 makes sense as well. And d4. Yeah, you have to like kind of fight here. Queen c. Okay, this I think this is fun. This should be interesting. If you're wondering, this is decaf. I know that nobody cares, but I care. Yeah. Materials equal. Chief. Oh, you can't do that, right? What's the threat? Let's say I take here. Oh, the queen just gets trapped long term. Ah, that's funny. So you have to play queen g3. Okay, a bit less far. Maybe there's a better line. Oh, you can just castle. That's also good. But this is a queen trade, and and this king doesn't really matter. Although I do still have an advantage because this e6 pawn is bad. So maybe you have to play this, but you just block. We're just playing a... Ooh, that's also funny. Doesn't really threaten anything, right? Bishop. The fact that this... yeah, you just go back. Ha. And knight d6. Okay, now this is a draw. Also, rook takes f3 won't get played. That's not a legit move. But okay. So let's get rid of most of this. Actually, no, let's try to find a way to play this for more advantage than what we got. I mean, d4 makes sense, but maybe you should just play d3. d5, knight e5, that's not really what I'm looking for. Yeah, if I had a light square bishop, oh baby. But yeah, that's the piece that we used here, which is kind of a shame. I kind of want to play queen g4, but e5 maybe. Okay, this is not that bad. Knight takes e5. Yeah, this kind of wins a pawn. But again... okay, this is not great, but... I don't think I'm insanely happy here. I mean, if we trade everything off, then you get into a knight versus bishop endgame, and with a pawn up for the knight side. That's okay. Yeah. Also, forcing a queen trade quickly might be good. Can you prevent it? Yes. I really want to prevent it. Oh, what happens after bishop? Oh, then you take here. Okay, and that's interesting. That's another slight plus. And what if you take? Yeah, d takes makes sense. Oh, and then you get this weakness again. Nice. And this bishop is dead. And you just have time to develop. Okay, this is getting interesting. So people, unfortunately, people probably won't take. But I have enough information that this is playable. I can probably play this. Okay, so Alapin, delayed Alapin, and let's say they don't take. Whoops. What would be the second move that makes sense? Something like e6 makes sense, something like knight c6 makes sense. After e6, don't you just have to defend this regardless? Yes. I'm not gonna play a bishop move though. Unless you really wanted to. Do you really want to waste the tempo to force the opponent to play e6? That seems like a decent move. Actually, maybe not, because the bishop is kind of sad then. If I played this and this, that would be great. You really want to... part of me really wants to play d4, but maybe just slowly develop. You want to play d4 without them being able to take, because then this bishop is a monster. This is kind of like a French position with a great bishop, but the pawn is on d2 somehow. Nobody's gonna play g5. Never in a million years. Oh wait, no, it makes sense. And then h3 I would have probably played, and maybe... is g4 really that suicidal? Probably, right? Because of f6 and e5 and... yeah... I guess maybe you have to take then. I mean, this is okay, but... okay, I don't like this. Okay, let's go back. d5 is generally the trick in these types of positions. Can we play something other than e5? What if you take and go here? Is this playable? I don't think I like d4, but that's too minor. This is too minor of a plus, and an imbalance in general. Also, this is too minor. This is nothing. This is just a draw, and I don't want to do that. Bishop d3. I really want to see if this is good or not, but d5 is... maybe you could just castle. Oh, c4. Yikes. Because the trick that I wanted to do is play was queen a4 check, but c4 kills that. Okay, queen e2 maybe, but then you just take twice. Yeah, that's bad. Okay. I really wanted to... I thought that bishop d3 was funny, so I really wanted to make it work, but... maybe... but it doesn't seem to work, so maybe you just do this. Let's say normal move e6. Do you have queen c2? Apparently it does. Engine doesn't say so. But queen c2 makes sense to me. Yeah, okay, it's fine. d3. I mean, this is okay. Slight threat, right? No, not really. No, it is a threat. What am I doing? I mean, b4. Okay, I can see this. It seems okay. Yeah, I guess. Can also play d4 immediately and then b4 only a bit later. Yeah, d4 first. That looks fun, in theory. Maybe this position is just not good, so... Take. Yeah, no, this looks good. And then defend here. I don't think I like bishop a3. But this is definitely miserable for black to play. Oh, queen b6 is the joke. Okay. And why is bishop a3 good? Oh, queen d2. That's the point. You have to just defend your slightly too far advanced pawns. a5, does that give you play on the b6 square? I mean, it kills the bishop. Just this maybe? The knight to f6. No. I mean, we got to this position before, but that was here. But with the pawn on d3 instead of d4. Maybe that's better then? Because then the move queen b3 does make sense. Okay, no, that's bad. Knight d2 though. This makes sense to me. d4, come on. Can I play d4? Oh, now... Why is this suddenly fine? Ah, okay. No, that's interesting. Oh, that's a pawn. And this is like... okay. We're getting somewhere. So I want to play it with d3. Okay. And just develop pieces also, that also makes sense. But maybe I should be more forceful here with d4. I mean, this... oh no, this isn't the pawn because the b pawn is threatened. I can play this for 4 hours though. This seems okay. Just knight. Maybe that wasn't... Rook c1 is the move, and it's nothing here. I mean, rook c1 also makes sense. Yeah, I think I can play this for quite a while. Maybe I shouldn't even allow rook a5. Bishop c6, sure. Rook a7 is not a move, right? That's not a move you can find, so let's say this. But then you just take the pawn. Yeah, I can play that for a win with a pawn plus, of course. Queen c6 also makes sense. I think this is probably the normal move. Promote once. Knight a7. b2 is not... yeah, b3 makes a lot more sense. Yeah, just good luck defending your weak pawns and... yeah, a5. But maybe b5 holds everything. You can't take en passant, that seems bad, but... or that seems like you've made it a draw and everything else is bad. Okay, no a5, just take. I mean, this is interesting. This is a passed pawn. It's not much. We're going a bit too far into the weeds, by the way. But I can... so queen c2 is bad. I can promote d3. I think d3 would be my move. And this line seems good. Yeah. It makes sense to me to play that as well. Let's look at a bit more. Let's see, look at bishop e7, which also makes sense. Rook e1 with the plan e5. You can allow that. And we're just developing here. a4 again. I can remember this, that you defend with a4 because this is good, I guess. Oh, the knight gets trapped unless you play something smart. And still the knight is really sad here. And you get the knight to c6. And if you... that wasn't what I was planning on doing. My plan was this. And b5, but you can just prevent that. So maybe I should just take the bishop and... I mean, this knight is still really terrible. You have to play e5, knight e6 for it to do anything. And maybe I should play d4 to prevent that. Oh, that's a pawn. I don't want to sack a pawn. Yeah, this knight is worth nothing. Yeah, I can play that. Just this, and knight d4, knight c6, and taking the... yeah, taking there. What's the point of knight c4? I'm getting into the weeds again. Okay, that's a pawn. Nobody's gonna... That's also a pawn. Any way to prevent that? Why is this so good? I don't see it, still don't see it, still don't see it. And what if you just don't do that? I guess f4 and knight g... That's really weird. And what if you do this? Take, of course. Ah, okay. So maybe instead of h6 you immediately try to run take. Is the point that your pieces are so terrible that you just can't get there in time? Is that the point? Cool. That's because there's a rook on c7 which should never be there. Oh, but you can't really do anything else. And yeah, sure. And knight g4 again. Okay, I can see it now. Took a while, but you should take with check. Oh, you can't take because this is just, you have to sack the queen because this is just checkmate. Cool. Okay. So what I've learned is that they can't take. That's good to know. That's very important, because if they can't take, then I can do whatever I want. Well, I can do this a6 idea. So this is kind of mandatory that my opponent allows this, and then b4. No. Knight c4 now. Okay, I can see that. Because this is, I will get b4, after which this pawn structure makes sense. At some point I'll get that. Not yet. I don't have bishop e3 though. But that will be the game plan. That's a weird move, so let's not play a weird move. Let's play a normal move, like this. I wanted to play bishop e3, and b4 was the point, but apparently this is bad. I guess b5. Okay, b5 makes sense that that is bad. Maybe you just hold that, hold the pawn position, trade everything off, and yeah. It's getting colder. Okay, knight f, yeah. These are the two main lines that I'm looking at. Bishop, and like, you can also just play this. But maybe that gives me some time. I guess we just play a closed Sicilian, I say, and immediately d4. There's no way that white is significantly better here, right? Maybe. No, we this is nothing. You do wanna kind of wanna play something on the queen side instead of the center, I think. Let's play rook. I mean, rook e1 makes sense, and we can always just do this stuff, and a6, a4, right? Maybe even a5, but that loses here. Bishop a2. Guess not, guess just bishop b3. Still this. Am I really happy in this position though? Even this. This is just a draw, right? Maybe you don't take, of course, but Okay, how did we get here? Just the opponent tries to play on the queen side and I need to let them, I think. And the moment they do, we just take the center. This feels a bit passive. And the bishop. Yeah. Black's really trying to be active here. But maybe this goes a bit too far. Oh, it's a pawn sack. Or you're like kind of passive. Knight f5. Okay. That's... And then it's a kingside attack. Ah, I get it. Forcing an attempted queen trade. But you can avoid that. This is a piece sack, but that's okay. Oh yeah, you have to play b3. Knight h5. Good that that I'm looking at it with the engine, because I would not have spotted knight h5, I don't think. I just want to see the threat. I mean, knight f6 made sense to be the threat, but and bishop takes. Okay, that's... Ah, okay, that's funny. Taking is also checkmate apparently. Oh, because you have a rook lift. Or just taking back. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I can prep this. Just like... I think queen b3 makes sense instead of taking. And... I kind of want to play... I mean, bishop d2 makes a lot of sense, forcing d5 and then e5, and you really have to... Well, maybe you can take here and then you might be fine. This is still pawn sack line. Actually, no, it's not. No, it's not, because you win the a pawn. No, you don't. Okay, but is this good enough? Because this is the d pawn is the plus pawn. If you don't sack the pawn, then I'm winning, of course. That makes enough sense, right? Even in this position. Oh, I already looked at that. So even with the queen on b2 instead of b3, then it's piece winning line, of course. Okay. I mean, a3 is... I don't think a3 is at the level of my opponent's either. I think rook c8 is just more reasonable. You really want to play e5, but I don't think you can. Promote twice, okay. d5, does that work? Oh, you get knight c2 as an option. I don't like that, I don't think. Even if you're better here. Oh, it's just a pawn. Okay, no, then I'm okay with it. I can play this with plus a pawn, right? Except that you lose the 7th rank. Take, of course. Oh, but then it's a second pawn. Not really. Rook b1. Sure. Yeah, I think I can play this for a win. Seems okay. Okay, so the point is bishop c4, d3. Just develop, make some normal moves, try to keep the bishop there unless forced out. And if it's forced up, then that's also fine because of a4, and it kills, and taking kills the knight. This knight is extremely dead and I can play this for a win. Wait. Okay, so a6, take, and knight c4 in this position because b4 isn't good, but knight c4 is. Let's get rid of b4. And just maybe I'm not very happy here. I can play b. No, that loses a pawn. Don't think I'm very happy here. Oh, where was I? Yeah, this seems playable because I just basically play on the d6 pawn and there's nothing you can do about it as black. That's weird. And this I'd be okay with, clearly. I'm not. I mean, I do still hold on to the d file, kind of. Because you can't take with the queen, because then you lose a pawn. So, can't you take here? Oh, it's a check. So yeah. You don't really hold on to the d file. Nah. Okay. Something somewhere went wrong. Yeah, I don't like this line. This knight c4 line seems mediocre. Yes. What was the other line that I looked at? Nothing. This is the line. Okay. I mean, maybe knight b3 makes sense. Bishop f4 still. Is c5 a move? No. To prevent or c4 to prevent d5. Yeah. Yeah, this really isn't it. This is interesting. This seems fun, but that requires knight a5. No, wait. This. Oh yeah, this was what I'm trying to... Yeah. This line seems weird. Hmm. Oh, knight f1 also makes sense. c4. Yeah, all of this... I just need to go attack on the king side is the thing, I think. Maybe I should prevent that. Is that preventable? Yes, like this. Because now, after knight b3, I can just take the rook, and I'm okay with that. And bishop f4. Oh, maybe this is also bad. I mean, bishop f4 here also makes sense. I think the point is going to be to try to do a kingside attack. But I mean, of course that's not going to be possible, but because that would be winning, and it's unclear if white's winning. Because I'm playing against an ancient right now. But I mean, we're getting somewhere at least. I would play this probably. But maybe not. Rook f1 also makes sense. I mean, we're kind of getting somewhere. Okay, it's not much. But we do have the f-file, but that's not really that doesn't really matter. d5 is just playable. Let's delete quite a bit and let's look again at some other options. Now that was bad, and I need to play just bishop f4 and trade here d4. Nah, just kingside attack, right? Like, this seems good for me. This is already a slight plus. Permanently. I'm okay with playing an endgame up a pawn. If that's what I'm forced to do. Also, this is assuming that my opponent plays almost like an ancient, which is not realistic, and assuming that my opponent plays c5 regardless, but let's ignore that. Yeah. Yeah, this looks fun. Just walk the bishop to b3, c2, b1. And maybe I should, to make sure that happens, play bishop b3 here and bishop c2 here. Maybe that gives my opponent a tempo that I don't need to give them. Yeah, it does. And that's a big tempo actually. Yeah, so basically what I'm getting at right now is that right here my opponent will decide how the game goes. So I'm not actually prepping an opening trick here. I'm can also just play a4 or something. But d5 might be a bit too obvious. Yeah, this... Yeah, here d4, d5 is worse. Because this trade is decent for me. This is kind of known as pretty decent. This looks okay for black, but it really isn't, because these pawns are just worthless, despite them looking good. Yeah, but it's like black gets a choice. I don't like that. I mean, I'll just also show a bit about e5, because let's think about that later. Because what I generally play is actually kind of similar. So bishop c4, bishop c5, c3, and d3. Maybe I should insert b4 here, but then bishop e7 seems okay. Come on. So d3. You generally see this, and then I have a4, which seems okay. So you have some permanent space here, which is something. And then you just do the simple, like, or the slow maneuvering version. Exchange sack, nice. Nobody's gonna do that. Oh yeah, I remember prepping this last year. Same last match for the same competition. Prepped bishop a2. I think. No, wait, I prepped this, and then bishop. There was some bishop a2, I believe. Here. Take. No, bishop b5. Counter punch. I mean, this is just equal, but it's not as easy. You also have d5. Oh no, here bishop. This was the point. This is... I prepped this once, I believe. Yeah, to play something like knight c4 was the point, I think. Yeah, knight c4. Hey, not a knight c4. And just kill both of the pawn structures. King g h2, king something. Yeah, because this is nothing, and it's even probably just only 2 pawns in let's say 10 moves. And I have if I can hold on to this pawn, this bishop is also dead. Yeah, this seems okay. And that was h3 first. So that's this line. This is probably what I'm going to play against e5. Okay, is this... Oh yeah, this is also playable. Okay. Nobody's gonna do that, but I do know how to play against it. Yes, that seems fine, but... Oh yeah, okay. Let's finally look back at this issue. Because I want to get this to be playable, and this is... What do I get rid of here if this... it's the knight f1 line, which I also did not think was very good, right? No, this doesn't look interesting. No. Okay. I need to play this for a win, which in this position, which the ancient claims is quadruple 0-0. How do you do that? I mean, d4 maybe. This seems okay. Seems like it does something, and I don't think you want to take, right? Because of knight takes. That seems good. Oh, knight takes and maybe e5. Or, oh, b4 of course. And now e5. Maybe... Wait, this... Okay, this doesn't quite lose a piece, but... Maybe this isn't as good as I hoped. I mean, it's just... The attack is just nothing, right? Maybe if I go all out... Oh, you can take the pawn as well. You can still take the pawn. Oh no, that seems... Okay, right? Oh, and you get... Nope. And, I mean, if this, then... Take... That seems good enough, I think. And I would probably play f4 in this position. Maybe not. Don't think I would take here, but... Oh, a5 might be the move other than that. Yeah, we're trying something here. What's the issue with this? g6. Let's actually force that. Let's not sack a pawn. Apparently let's sack a pawn. This is f4. This just genuinely seems okay, right? Okay, I think d4 might need to be the move. But what's the point? Knight of 1, okay. Okay, now this is okay. I don't think I would ever play rook e3 in this position. That makes zero sense. Oh, no, it does make sense. It's to prevent knight b3. And this doesn't work because of d5. And that's, yeah, push makes... Yeah, it's okay. Let's see this. Yeah, forcing b6 makes sense. What's this knight doing? I mean, both sides seem to have a bad position, which is at least something. But this just feels like a draw again. Okay. Let's see. So knight f1. Take. I want to see if this is in any way, shape or form like attackingly playable. Queen b6. Yeah, it was this line. Can you go on the offensive in this position? I mean, on the offensive might just be d5, by the way. Which seems like not a completely terrible move. What's the point of b4? Bishop d2 and... Okay. My coffee is cold. And now it's gone. Okay, it's only been an hour. We've got some time. I mean, the match starts in like 5 hours, so don't worry about that. Maybe it's not knight of 1. Actually, there are multiple ways to take back, of course, and I just immediately did c takes, but knight takes. I mean, this should be playable, right? Not gonna play rook b1, not gonna play knight f3. I really want to play f4. Yeah, it's not that bad. And g4, yeah. There we go. There we go. Yeah. This is what I was looking for. g5. Sack a pawn, win this pawn. What's the point? Cool. But and what if I don't wanna? Okay, I do still lose a piece. Okay. A bit excessive, but let's play knight f6 and let's not play g4. Let's just play a normal move. I haven't gone too far yet. King h1 even. Knight f5. Could easily be something here, right? Oh, there's bishop on f8. Rook e3 makes sense. Also defends this, so I have b5 as an option at some point, or b4 at some point. Cool. Oh, that just sacks a piece, right? Yeah. For 2 pawns. Okay, maybe I need to be a bit faster. Can I play e5 here? Yes. Okay. Queen e2, sure, I can... No, I'll probably play queen g4 or something. It still wants me to play queen e2. Okay, let's see. Why is this bad for white? Do I lose a pawn somewhere or something? Can't be, right? I mean, I can. You're not gonna play bishop a3, but like, I can see you finding this. Is that the point? Is this just a pawn sack line for compensation? I don't like that. Wait, don't you just... Why do you have to play a5? You don't, right? Just play h4 or something. Oh, wait, but you can take that. Or just this. Ah, I see the issue. You can unravel just barely. And this loses that pawn, and this is play. This still loses the c pawn. Ah, okay. Gone a bit too far then. But this seems, or I can also just play queen takes, but that seems, no, that I can't. Good. Good to know. Okay. Knight takes. Let's get rid of that line. Knight takes d4, queen c7. Let's get rid of this. Yes. Okay. How to play this? Because this seems like a solid position. This is like the only issue I have so far. Knight g3, yeah. You're not gonna play knight de2. King h1 makes sense. Maybe f4 first. But I mean, because king h1, king h1 kind of shows that you're going to play f4. So whatever. Yeah, g6 makes no sense. This makes a lot more sense. Bishop e3, obviously. d5. There's no way that this isn't good enough, right? Wait, why can't you take? Oh, the queen does get trapped. I missed that. Okay. I don't want to play knight d2, I don't think, but I mean, this must be playable, right? Just hold on to this position. So, I mean, I can even play queen h5 here. And we keep playing, we keep going. Maybe not f5. Maybe prepare that. Trade all the pieces. And then then my position is just bad, right? Okay, the bishop is bad, but there must be something better here, right? Oh, d4, rook e8. This is the only issue to this line so far. I can accept playing any other line. Maybe. Wait, is this the line? Same line? Oh, d4 and then, yeah. Oh no, yeah, I remember this. Come on. Yeah. Yeah, and you had to play something stupid like bishop a3. This is such a weird direction. And now we just trade off everything and the knight then moves. Okay. And this is just a draw, right? Even if anything slightly prefers black because the pawn can be weak. With extended rook e8. b4. I mean, this makes sense, and d5. Let's try to not simplify everything down to nothingness. That loses this pawn. Okay. Defend. Still, this simplifies quite a bit. I mean, this is interesting. Sure, let's insert that. That doesn't matter. Oh, and then you can knight d5. What if I just don't allow you to insert that? Sack a pawn, kind of. It's not actually a pawn sack, but... Apparently white is worse here, I guess. Because of the pawns. Why can't I think of anything? Why is there nothing playable? I just need to find something stupid that isn't completely terrible in this line. Okay, okay. B4. You have to take. Take. Okay, we're getting maybe something. But this... Oh no, this is just still a draw. I don't actually want to trade everything off. Okay, can I find a different move? Not really. I don't have to trade here. Threaten to win a pawn if they don't let me trade now. That's... Wait. This allows you to take there as well. Oh, that loses a piece. Okay, I can see that. Take c4 or something, or just trade the pawns off. Just trade the pawns. Okay, this is incredibly drawn. Ugh. I don't want to get a draw. It's better than what I got before, but I want to win. I want to have winning chances. d5, take c4. I mean, this knight d4 move makes sense to me. Maybe here b3 or b4. And what if I just... No. Apparently not. What if I just don't take back? I was wondering, but... Take knight c5, yeah. Blech. Okay. d5 also doesn't seem to be it because of take c4. Okay. I tried. h3. Just nothing, just pass. But if I pass, then do I have to just say no to this line? Just no to Alapin Sicilian? Because of this line? I also technically don't have to play a4 here, but let's say knight takes here, and then a4, a6 is the line that we're looking at. Okay, we're getting somewhere maybe. But that's weird. In the other line, you do want to play a4, so in the line with immediate knight a5, you do want to play a4, right? This is a good line here. Because you can also develop here, probably, maybe. Probably. Oh, because you haven't developed the knight yet, so you can immediately play bishop f4. Okay, that's really gross. That's not something I'm gonna be able to remember properly. And after one move, then knight a5, you just have to take immediately, and a4 is bad. Okay, so promote. And knight takes d7 main line, yes, and then d4. And there's also b4. Okay. Oh, my head. This is going to be such a hell to remember. But like, this all seems playable. This reminds me again of a French. Is this not just French? A French mainline? Maybe not bishop b2. Oh, maybe it is okay. Yeah, no, this, I do remember this, because you have b5 and that makes this generally not that great. Except that now you lose the c-pawn immediately. Is that... oh, you can prevent that. Kind of. Because you pin it, or threaten to pin it. And black needs to really hold on, and suddenly queen g4, okay. That's interesting. But this is not good. I don't want to sack a pawn like that. Okay, can I salvage this pawn in a better way? Yes, maybe. To make sure I don't lose a pawn. This... I don't think this is great either. You really have to also go for a win here. or an attack. But this is very reminiscent of a French defense line, which I can also show you a bit. This is the French defense line that I would play. Knight, queen, a3, and then what was the point? Let's say this, b4, and bishop b2. And you often don't have b5 because of, or a5 because of b5. And you get the knight here, which gets traded, you take with the d pawn. Very similar position to what we're looking at here. No. Here. Yes. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, this is only one of the lines. Yeah, okay, makes sense. Maybe not big. That seems okay. Or maybe d5. No, that's a pawn sack. I don't like that. d5, e5. I mean, knight c5 makes sense, and all of this makes sense. You just have to play against a5, it seems. Okay, that's the other version of this. Just the other counter-attack. Yeah, this really nothing better than just go back. I mean, I can draw this, but that's not the goal. Okay, now this makes sense though. This take, because this threatens queen c2 winning the piece. Well, you can, and now you go for a counterattack, just like sack a piece or whatever. I don't care. All of this material doesn't matter. It just barely holds even. Threat in here. I mean, no threat. Sorry, but you check with the knight is the point. And this is nothing, and you have to take, of course, and this and run. Nothing you can do? Maybe not. Can also do this, of course, and I mean, on the one hand, all the pieces are stuck on the queen side, and on the other hand, you're attacking the king side. This seems kind of difficult to play, and it's only a pawn. Knight h5. Now this makes a lot more sense. You need to really fight to survive. Rook g5. f4, lol. What are I doing here? Oh, you can take because of knight f3. Okay. Then f4 you can take because of knight h3 and knight e4. Cringe. I mean, there's also... I looked at queen h5, right? Maybe just not... You don't have to sack the piece. It claims that... Here it claims that a5 is better for white though. Not anymore. Let's let it properly calculate here then. Oh, you can also just defend like this. Because if you take, you can take here. Oh, that loses a rook. But you threaten f3, still play f3, and like, I mean the queen doesn't get trapped, but oh. Where were we? Can also do this, an a4 or d5 here. I guess b4 is not the move. Unfortunate. How many moves do I get rid of here? 114. Let's go. Wait, this is... Yeah, that looks okay. So this is really the only move. And it's not b4. Maybe it's d5. Which is a pawn sack. Kind of. The only way to... Yeah. Force. This is all forced, and then... Can't you defend this? Let's say b5. Oh, you take... And the knight is hanging. Ah, that's the joke. Okay. This is not a pawn sack. Because of knight c4. I can remember knight c4. And then queen takes b7. And now materials equal, and I think I can probably play this for a win. Don't think I can take that, or don't like taking that, unless forced. I need to really save a pawn here. Somehow. Is that possible? Or both? Yikes. Ah, queen takes. That's down a pawn. Fine. We can play this. I'm afraid this is often a draw, because I lose this pawn and win that pawn for it. But like, this is just a draw, right? And I have to find this. That's pain. Okay, it's not d5. It's not b4, it's not d5. I can play knight f1, of course. Or knight b3, but I don't think knight b3 is the move. I think it's probably closer to this and this, which is knight g3. Fine. The thing is that I don't want to draw, so d4. I can easily get to this position, so I really need to make sure that it's okay, that there's dynamic play here. What about this? No, right? Probably nothing. And I haven't looked at knight b3, although it makes no real sense to me. You just go back and like... then what? That must be bad, so it's not knight b3. Can I find a different developing move other than knight bd2? That might be the point. 198. Yes. Burn it with fire. So it's not knight bd2. Maybe just a4. And the point is that bishop a2. Knight a3. b4. Okay, okay. We're cooking. This looks decent. These bishops are monsters. This knight gets to the center or here, and slight space advantage. Okay, I'll take a4. I can remember a4. And on d5, then you have to defend the pawn, apparently, so you can go to c2. So you defend this pawn, actually. And this seems like a very small plus still, kind of, right? That seems bad. Any way to prevent that? Yes. But this seems this is okay. Because I get knight b or threaten knight b5. I'm still gonna play it, and this pawn is undefendable unless you take, which people probably will, and then I can play b4 later. Maybe not. I don't like knight c6. Maybe maybe I can prevent it. Is b4 here playable? Oh, you can just take, because my back rank has some issues. Yeah, you really have to fight to stay in it as black. Maybe this is okay for me. This pawn seems incredibly weak, but I can kind of save it. Okay, I think I've been convinced. Okay, what does that mean? In this line, I'm going to play a delayed Alapin. Knight f6 is the more sensible move. Bishop c4, you're not going to take, because then I have queen a4, bishop f7, d3, develop move, castle, rook e1 makes sense, castle, like, these two will fight at some point, but the first person to move loses out, so for the most part. And now that I have a flight square, I can go to a2, or if the bishop gets kicked like this, you can go to b3. And this seems playable. Not knight a3, right? Knight e5, yeah. And f3. That was the point. Oh. All the way back. Yes. And this was the line. No, unpromote variation. Whatever, doesn't matter. Right, this was, yeah, now I got it back. Yes, so if knight a5, then you go to a2, and on d5 you go to b3. And on knight a5, bishop a2, and then you start playing on the queen side and get these monster bishops. On d5 you trade and you fight against the weak knight on a5. I can remember that. And I think that's it. Yeah. So it's a queenside attack, or on queenside attack on knight a5, and try to show that the knight is weak, and otherwise on d5 you trade off, still play against the weak knight on a5 actually. Not this variation. Not b4. Okay, I think that's what I'm going to do for today. I'm going to not There, I mean, I wasn't going to upload this before my game because that's like, honestly, what are the odds? You know, there aren't many people that watch me or follow me. I do like number go up, but other than that, I really don't give a shit. So yeah, it should probably be fine, but just to be safe, like honestly, I mean, tried to scout my opponents, and like this is I am the easiest scout in the world, or scouted person in my team, if they know how to find me. Which is why I'm trying to not dox myself. This doesn't matter. I'm too generic. I'm like that dude from, what's it called, Inside Job. I'm too generic that my face can't be recognized by cameras. But yeah, see you tonight.